things we're trying to do is to decentralize as many things as possible. The final thing, the final few things that the central government needs to do, obviously one is disaster relief. So if there is a major disaster here, earthquake or something, then it's our job to pull you out, because usually under those circumstances, the state government itself has broken down. And finally, provide you with the tools to stand on your own feet, which is why we want to provide you with the information. You may want geotagging, he may want training. We may provide you with, as I said again, specific kinds of infrastructure that your state needs. We can't do it for everything because, as I said, I don't have ability to be able to provide you detailed things on the ground for everything. But in those things, the central government has a role we can do. So, for example, railways is a central government activity. So, I am going to request to see, I am not promising it because but the railways, if it is building a station, should have some sort of a cold storage facility. So this is one, I'll take it up. Second thing that I'm going to look into, which is that whether or not we can do customs clearance in Dimapur airport. That will make your life, if you're trying to export anything, particularly if they are medicinal plants, etc., they're not very heavy. They are small, high value items. So those can be easily transported by air. And if there are things that you can transport by high value items like medicinal plants, then the clearance should be done right here, rather than doing it in Kolkata, which is what you do today. You take it there, then it's lying there, somebody does clearance, doesn't do clearance, it goes rotten. So that is something I'm definitely going to look into. And then similarly, as I said, I have no intention of running your ecotourism operations here. I can't. But I can do is bring people out, one time make an effort to see if we can map out some routes, get people from other states who have done this, come and help you set up a few homestays so that you can get going. Even if we do one route, other people can learn from that. So that is basically what we think we can do. There are limitations about what we can do, but we will, within that limitation, try and do the best we can.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can I have one last question?
Yes.
Sir, my name is Shri Sanyal Ji. I am the president of the District Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I'll just make my question short.
Okay.
As I said, in our district, we hardly have 2,000 entrepreneurs. And for your kind information, 95% of the entrepreneurs are first generation entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So
First generation
entrepreneurs.
Yes.
So now the problem is, my concern is, I've attended lots of national meetings, state meetings, but I have no problem. I'm doubtful if our message is reaching Delhi. Even last year, I've attended the finance minister, Srimati Shirmila, Kohima also, even with Jagdish, former governor of Nagaland, to Avankur. Now the business community have forwarded countless approach to the government, but we are worried, we are confused if our message is reaching Delhi. So what we request you is, I own the name of all the business entrepreneurs, request you to give a kick, both in Delhi and to the government of Nagaland.
Government of Nagaland, I can't, that is your government.
Delhi can give a kick. This is a wake-up kick that will impact. No, we have been attending this countless of meetings with no outcome, just interaction, go, interaction, go.
No, so at least the next meeting I can tell you will be a proper training. This I can promise you, that we'll get people who actually try to teach things and deliver things. I don't want to take messages back, that's why I don't want to do that at all. Because I understand this problem. I also attend countless government meetings and they're very boring. That's why you see that I in fact asked for this hallucinogenic honey so that I can have some of it before a meeting. That's the only way to survive government meetings. So I appreciate your problem, and let me say that at least on my side, when I come back next time, some things I will have done. As I cannot promise you success, but I will have made my full effort to help you. This I can tell you. Thank you.
Dr. Abdoholi from the Department of Chemistry.
Chemistry.
Phek Government College.
Okay.
So actually our state is a rich biodiversity hotspot, one of the rich hotspot in India. So what is happening now is we have the raw materials like very important medicinal plants. So what's happening now is these medicinal plants are being, taken by some other industry outside the state. And now we can't tap those resources. We don't have industries of our own.
So
Now-
do you want geotagging? Is that what you are looking for?
No. Actually, we want something bigger. We want some industry, where the local will produce, the local people, gets benefited, as well as if the industry is run by the local people, will be fine, economically it will benefit.
But is geotagging also an issue here?
Geotagging, not really, I guess.
You're not too
No,
bothered
because
about geotagging?
There are some items which are being geotagged already.
You're familiar with the
Yes.
technology and how to do
Yes.
it? Okay.
So the thing is, if the government, from the sky is the limit for.
No, you have to be very careful. In the end, let's be very clear. I am not a great fan of government intervention beyond the point. I am one of those who worked hard and finally privatized Air India. So I'm not a big fan of government intervention. I understand that to get you going, I need to put some effort. But in the end, the point of entrepreneurship is that you stand on your own feet, right? So I don't want everything being done by government, but so I want to know infrastructure certainly has to provide the government. Individuals can't build a road, but certainly. So I understand. That's why I asked you geotagging, because that's something government can do. If there is biodiversity, what else can we do? We can record these things. Maybe you can create a research unit to keep track of them. But eventually, it is the entrepreneurs here who have to take advantage of the medicinal plants and get them out. That's why I also talked about cold storage. So that is obviously a big issue. What other things? Agro business. This is something you as citizens and I myself as a citizen have to do. We have to push back. This is something, that's why you have to turn up and vote. That's why you have to push back against corruption. In the end, who are the people you are accusing of being corrupt? They are us only. There are people. They are people we have elected. These are people who we have put in positions of power. There's nothing. So if there is corruption, ultimately it is society that creates it. So this is not a question that I can answer as a government official. This is a question that I can say that we are all equal here in that we are all citizens. I have one vote, you have one vote, and you have to vote for people who are good quality, who have a vision for this country. Otherwise, we can keep blaming other people, but in the end, we are a democracy. And the people who we very often say are in positions of power are there because we only put them there.
How do you see our Northeast economy, or say Northeast, especially Nagaland, 3-4 years from now? Because, as an academician, one keeps wondering, after 4 or 5 decades of getting our statehood, we got our statehood in 1963, we don't see any semblance of development. So, of course, Modi's government, your government is doing a lot towards, promoting good governance and all those things, but I think the government can still play a much more proactive role. Especially we can talk about entrepreneurship and all those things, but the basic infrastructure, the facilities, I think that if the government takes care of it, I think it will solve a lot.
So you are absolutely right. So that is one of the things we are trying in this government to do. You may have seen that we are putting in a huge amount of infrastructure into the Northeast, not just in Nagaland. In fact, this is the first time I have come to Nagaland, but if you go to other states, which I have visited, you go to, for example, Agartala in Tripura, it has a fantastic world-class airport. Now, who would think Agartala has a world-class airport? Similarly, we have built out, the large number of bridges over the Brahmaputra have been built. Earlier, people had to drive for almost a full day to get to the other side. Now you can just go across. So there are, especially for Arunachal, that has been a big benefit. Many bridges have been built. Same thing we are doing with upgrading the airports and things like that. So we are doing some work. Here in Nagaland, we are building a railway for you. This road you just saw, we are constructing that. We are doing some other roads also in the other parts of the state. So as I said, my job is to make sure that you get the infrastructure. Then the jobs will come by themselves. So, But it's important for me to come and see what is it that is needed here. I believe there is some move to also create some new schools and other things here. A new medical college has been opened in Kohima, I believe, just now. So I hope some of the young ladies here will be young men also, not just ladies, but will be applying there. We need more doctors in these parts of the country. In fact, the whole country needs more doctors, nurses, and other medical practitioners. So, yeah. So, I mean, the idea is that we are putting in a lot of effort and pumping money into this. My job is to make sure that that money is reaching something, right? It is not lack of money being spent. I can tell you this. We are very, very keen that the northeast of India develops fast without sacrificing its cultural roots. That's also important to us. There's no point in becoming like any other part in the world. So we are important for us that these highways and other things that you're talking about do get built. And there are issues relating to Nagaland, for example, land and other issues which are there. Entry of private entrepreneurship, etc. That will take some time to build. It doesn't get built in one shot. But I think you will agree that finally, last 5-6 years, things are moving. And so the reason I'm coming here is to get feedback. Okay, you wanted an infrastructure, so we are building. Now, what else do you need? So he said that we need help to find out about entrepreneurship, accounting, how does the GST work, etc. Okay, we will try and send somebody to teach you that. You need to create some ecotourism, so maybe we'll help you create some of that. Not everything we try will work, because even in one sense, we are also policy entrepreneurs. I am also taking a risk. So I am also trying. Something I try will work, something I try will not work. So you have to allow, just like if you do a business, sometimes it will work, sometimes it will fail. So, but one thing I want you to see that we are putting in a real big effort. And that is why I'm coming here and seeing all of you directly so that I get feedback. Like, look, I'm putting in this effort. Maybe you'll say, no, this is useless effort. Why are you doing this? Then, then I also know that I shouldn't waste time doing something. I should do something else. So obviously, electricity is a major issue here, and I will take that back as feedback. Yes, and many other things as well. So, ma'am.
Unemployment is a big problem in our country. In Nagaland, there are many unemployed youths. How is the government going to help them? Everyone, they cannot get government jobs. And everyone cannot get into entrepreneurship because of lack of capital, etc. How is the government going to help them?
So, you've asked a very tough question. And the point here is this. See, different states have different issues. From the central government perspective, let me say, you're absolutely right. Not everybody can have a government job. But in fact, government jobs, in the end, if everybody in a society, everybody is dependent on government jobs, it's actually very bad for that society, because it becomes a dependent society, and there's nobody generating revenues. So how can, if maybe 10% of people are working in government, it's okay, because the rest of the 90% are paying taxes for their salaries, etc. But everybody works in government, it will jam up, and it's bad for the morale of that society. It becomes a dependent society. So obviously, one thing is, which is why I'm here, is to get an entrepreneurial spirit, and obviously, presumably, many of you will then work for those entrepreneurs because they will generate the jobs. But I think the key thing from a central government perspective is that you should. I cannot predict what the jobs of the future will be. Right? So my job is to make sure that you have the knowledge, the infrastructure. Electricity not being supplied is obviously a problem. Even if you decide to become a journalist, or want to do ecotourism, or you want to become a writer, whatever it is, you need electricity. So this obviously has to be solved. Similarly, you need some network for 4G now, 5G networks. You need some basic, and this I think is much better here. I was surprised that even in the mountains, everywhere 5G works, more or less, which is not bad. So that is something we have obviously done well. We are building a highway that you can see that has obviously halved the time for going to Dimapur, which is, I'm very happy to see that. But now I think what I need to do is to inject lots of people to come here and see this place, because I think I cannot imagine everything that will happen, right? So what I need to do is to try and encourage people from different fields to come to Phek. That's why I said you may have to host a whole bunch of people. Some of them may be useful, some of them may not be useful. But what it will happen is that you will get interaction with entrepreneurs, writers, thinkers, all kinds of different people who will come here and stay here. And I right up front start off with maybe the GST people can come and do a presentation on GST at least. How what to do about GST? That I can do. I can promise you because that's from the government. I will also request PhD chambers, CII and Phek and others to make one of them at least will come. Send somebody for 3, 4, 5 days and take you through all of this. As I said, I will then also talk to railways, which we can do. And in fact, although he doesn't work for the railways ministry, he works. Rajiv Chandrasekhar works for the railway minister. In the sense, he's the state minister of electronics, which is also with the railway minister. So, what we can do is, this will take a little time, but at least we can get this issue of creating cold storage facility of some sort. As far as Phek itself, I think you may have to go to the state government for that, but the central government can create in the area, they can do that. And for ecotourism, as I said, I have personally decided to take that up as an issue, mark out certain routes, and we'll have to do this. It'll take 2-3 iterations to physically walk those routes to see if they are practical.
Sir, if I may submit here
Yes.
on behalf of my district, sir, Swadesh Darshan is a scheme of ecotourism.
Yes.
In the level 2, our district has not been selected.
We'll find some way. It doesn't matter. Let's go and
If
select a
that
few
can-
routes. Let's
Sir.
select a few routes.
Yes,
You
sir,
see,
yes, sir.
the point is, in order to make your case, you already need a few routes that have been
Noted.
to have been created.
Yes.
Then they have to put the photographs. Then the marketing. Everything has to be marketed. So
Yes.
even this has to be marketed.
Yes.
So one of the reasons I decided to come to rather than just go to Kohima and back.
Sir.
In fact, I've come first to Phek and Rizozo and then go and do the meetings because then I know what I am talking to. Otherwise, everybody comes to Kohima, does 3 presentations
Yes.
in the room and then goes back. That's why I first decided to come to the interiors, then go to Kohima, and then I'll go back. So I have an idea that's why I wanted to meet all of you because I don't even know what I am fighting for unless I met you, right? So that's why that was the case. Yes. Okay.
Before I actually run into my business, I work with some NGOs and I've been working with the SSGs also. And what I find out, the many problems that I found out in SSGs is that so many of them, they want to advance, but they cannot because they don't have a proper storage, especially our products are very perishable. And that is why I feel the need to establish one good cold storage especially here in Phek district also. And apart from that, a convenient transportation for the women to transport goods from here to other big cities. It was 2 years back that I once traveled with the self-help group, not the self-help group, but the women vegetable vendors. So one day I traveled together with them just to see just to experience how they actually feel. So it was 2 days and 1 night experience with them. So early in the morning they will go and search for the vegetables and then they'll pack, and by around 7 and 8 p.m. they'll pack all the things and load the things into the bus, and then they'll travel all night. And once they reach Dimapur, especially we used to take our products to Dimapur. So once they reach Dimapur, they'll sell their vegetable as fast as possible because it's very perishable, and especially like green leaves, cabbage, and mustard leaf, etc. They're very perishable, and bringing those perishable items from cold area to hot area,
It rapidly deteriorates.
Yeah, it rapidly deteriorates.
We are building a railway line to Kohima.
Okay.
Will that help? Train line to Kohima?
I think that will definitely help.
Okay.
But a good transportation for the.
The highway that we now are building
Yeah.
Has that helped you at all? The new one, the one.
The
that
new
we-
one, yes, it has helped us very much because
Earlier, how many hours it used to take to get Dimapur?
from Phek to Dimapur, I think almost a day,
And now
and now it's half a day,
50% reduction.
50% reduction.
Okay. So now once we finish the tarmac,
Yeah.
it'll be even faster.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is good.
yeah.
And where is this? Where near Kohima are they building the railway station? Do you know? So if they build a cold storage facility there, will that solve your problem? In the railway station?
In the railway station.
See, everywhere we will not be able to build.
Yeah.
It's too expensive. But maybe if you can get to Kohima in
Yeah.
whatever time, it's still in the mountains, it's cool. Will that make life much easier?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is something again we can note, that the railways can be sent a short note that whatever happens, they must create a cold storage unit in their new railway station. They must have a cold storage. Yeah, that is something also we can write a letter also. We could write a letter on your behalf to
Yeah.
the railway minister
Thank you so much.
that cold storage. See, many of these things are state government subjects. I cannot get involved in self-help groups or building. The Prime Minister's office begins to take care of individual cold storage. We won't be able to handle it. But what we can do is that at least in the central government facilities, like for example the railways, that's a central government facility. There we can request our railways, since they're anyway building a line, build a cold storage at one end. So that becomes an important thing.
Yeah.
And we need to also ask them if that line is connected through to the airport, because an important thing we hear repeatedly, and this is what Rajiv Chandrasekhar, our minister, also told me, that there is some unbelievably good organic stuff that is being made in these parts. If we can get it out of here somehow to the international market or even to the rest of India, that would be fantastic. So this could be one thing, at least get it to the railway station, and we need to, and then again connect the railway place to the airport. I hope they're nearby, I don't know, we have to check. Because then that can become a part of the, what is that project we have where we connect all the logistics? Gati Shakti, yes. So thank you, yeah.
Thank you so much.
The women folk is here, the COC is here, the Chamber of Commerce. They have excelled in everything. They are one of the self-sufficient tribes. They are good in handicrafts, they are good in weaving, they are good in singing, they are good in sports, they are good in farming. There's not even a single thing, sir, I don't remember. I can count on my fingers. I think one thing which they are working on that is polishing. And I think we are very fortunate that we are having a person who is expert of polishing, who can tell us what is the best path to follow on it. So I'll request everyone to take that opportunity. Aji to apni khan sab hudibo lage de. Kun aishe piche to moi hudibo kun hudya ne. Sab manu hudibo lage. We'll be waiting for that, all the questions and all the answers. Buji paise. So we are more blessed now. So that is the bujibo pare. Now all the women also who cannot understand now, I think sir can understand Nagamis also. The ladies, little bit. Sir, we'll be there for translating. Okay. So please take that opportunity. And sir, this Phek is called as land of traditions. Okay. Land of traditions, where I always feel that traditions make the roots. And the place whose roots are stronger, the flowers are best. And you all make it. When we all make it, that is the unity and that beauty I think we should show to the Delhi also. Let us, give the best picture of ours to sir also. I'm sure he'll be more happy with everything. But whatever you will tell him, sir, they'll give you 10,000% in return. I assure you that. Thank you on the note of that and welcoming you again. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks to the Honorable Member, Economic Advisor, Counsel to the Prime Minister of India, Shri Sanjeev Sanyal, and Director, Economy Advisor, Counsel to the Prime Minister of India, Shri Devi Prasad Mishar. Special thanks to our SP, Madam, to our ADC, to Engineer Reko Suro, and to all of you who have gathered here this afternoon. I think we had a fruitful meeting, and I believe our message will reach Delhi by next week.
We welcome you to our district. It is a rare privilege for us to have you in our midst today. for this important program. I also welcome all the participants, officers, SP Phek, and colleagues, students and entrepreneurs in Phek district who are present here today for this program. It is our hope that we will all learn something new and we all will take home something positive from this program, this talk and interaction with the dignitaries present with us today. With these few words, I extend my gratitude to our honored guest and to everyone present for this program today. Thank you.
प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स फेक जिले के हैं हमारे साथ है सर। आप आज श्री संजीव सन्याल जी पीएमओ ईएसी मेंबर्स यहाँ इंटरेक्टिव टॉक सेशन रहा है, तो व्हाट डू यू वांट टू कन्वे टू मेंबर्स ऑफ ईएसी?
I am so grateful to Shri Sanyal, the advisor, economic advisor to the Prime Minister of India. This is the first of its kind from a person visiting Phek district, Prime Minister office. We are very grateful. I on behalf of the business community of Phek district, the students, the administration, and all the citizens of Phek district, I extend my special thanks to
अभी हम फेक जिले में है, अभी यहाँ फेक टाउन में आज श्री संजीव सन्याल जी ईएसी मेंबर टू प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया आज यहाँ चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स फेक और यहाँ एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप्स और यहाँ की डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर के साथ एक स्पेशल टॉक शो रखे हैं। तो आए हम सर से जानते हैं आपको यहाँ फेक के चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स लोगों के साथ बातचीत करके आपने क्या महसूस किया है? व्हाट डू यू वांट टू एनकरेज टू द फेक डिस्ट्रिक्ट एंटरप्रेन्योर्स एंड कॉमर्स?
मुझे यहाँ के बहुत अच्छा लगा कि यहाँ के जो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं, यहाँ का जो चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स है और यहाँ के स्टूडेंट्स हैं, उन सभी से बातचीत करके बहुत ही अच्छा लगा। ये समझ में आया कि यहाँ के क्या समस्याएं हैं, लेकिन यहाँ इतने तरीके की अपॉर्चुनिटीज है, जैसे एग्रो फार्मिंग, इको टूरिज्म। यहाँ म्यांमार का बॉर्डर भी बहुत दूर नहीं है, तो वहाँ भी एक्सपोर्ट किया जा सकता है और यहाँ नए नए इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनाए जा रहे हैं केंद्रीय सरकार और राज्य सरकार दोनों की तरफ से। अभी इस इलाके में पहले अच्छा हाईवे नहीं था, यहाँ से पूरा दिन लगता था दीमापुर तक पहुंचने के लिए, वो समय जो है आधा से कम हो गया। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि प्रगति नहीं हो रहा है, लेकिन यहाँ कुछ समस्याएं हैं जिसका हमें हल निकालना पड़ेगा। तो केंद्रीय सरकार की तरफ से हम लोग